We'll never get off this island now, will we, sir? Never see England again.
Hello. That was my Cecil for all of you Comicsgate brothers out there. It's your boy Double D coming at you again. We are becoming fast friends, are we not? Thanks to Wizards of the Coast and what is perhaps one of the most boneheaded business decisions we've seen in quite a while. So in case you didn't know, Wizards of the Coast is revoking the old open gaming license from the early 2000s, 3rd edition D&D, and replacing it with a much more restrictive one. And this is causing the cascade effect of many third-party publishers abandoning support for 5th edition and, of course, 6th edition when it comes out. There's just no more trust there. And I did a video yesterday kind of on this, just explaining the higher points, as well as many others. I'll put a link to it at the end if you want the particulars. All right, so I love the 1984 movie The Bounty, starring Mel Gibson and Anthony Hopkins in the third Hollywood retelling of the story of the mutiny that happened in 1789. Great movie. If you haven't seen it, please go out and watch it. Double D approved. It sort of occurred to me that Wizards of the Coast is acting a lot like the Mutineers on that ill-fated ship. Now follow me here. They each had a situation that was not perfect. You know, in the case of the Mutineers, an overbearing captain. In Wizards of the Coast case, one where they were beholden to an agreement that probably left money on the table, as well as creating a competitor of theirs, in Paizo's Pathfinder. Both are being willfully ignorant of the benefits of the thing that they think is causing them pain. In the Mutineers case, it's a veteran captain who will almost assuredly make sure that they get home in one piece. In Wizards' case, it's that same agreement that has allowed D&D to continue thriving through third-party innovation that in many cases actually leads people back into buying things from Wizards of the Coast, the rising tide, so to speak. Both of them are considering very rash and hasty actions that not only are going to change the rest of their lives, but the lives of many other folks too. But they're not thinking of the collateral damage, the future damage to themselves. They're only thinking of selfish, short-term gain and happiness. They're not thinking of the ruined reputations and the fact that, once they act, there's no going back. We're already seeing Troll Lord games publicly disavow Wizards of the Coast and 5e and all future versions of D&D. And they are only the first. Pretty soon, there's going to be a lot more that are going to come out publicly. And, they're going to realize what a cowardly stab in the back this ultimately was. The Mutineers burned the Bounty when they found Pitcairn Island. Now, they thought they were doing it for protection, knowing that if they were ever found by someone sighting that ship, that they'd all be hanged. But really, what they were doing was throwing away their only lifeline. And Wizards of the Coast has burned their proverbial boat for protection, the OGL 1.0. But they're not realizing the talent they've just deprived themselves of, that has led people to turn around, and buy things from them. They had some really, really strong third-party publishers in their corner, and pretty soon, that's all going to be gone. Who's going to replace them? Who's going to write the next Barrow Maze for 5th edition or 6th edition? We've seen the utter garbage they've produced in the last 3 to 4 years. There is a dearth of talent left at Wizards of the Coast. Most of it replaced in the name of diversity. If you watch my early channel reviews of Journeys Through the Radiant Citadel, you'll see the results, and what they're capable of putting out. Historically bad products. Strixhaven. Candlekeep. Just terrible. Terrible stuff. So Wizards of the Coast is going to have a new rule set soon, but it's not going to be supported with anything worthwhile. The only thing I can think of is that they're planning on stealing the adventures and other things that the players make on D&D Beyond. This new open gaming license makes that possible. Anything you create on their platform is theirs. So that's what it's come to. The leader in RPGs is reduced to pilfering the work of amateurs. Thanks to a shady operating agreement, that would make the Genovese crime family blush. 18 years after the mutiny on the Bounty, a whaling vessel stumbled on Pitcairn Island. And they found only one of the mutineers, 9 women and 23 children alive. The others had been victims of disease, alcoholism, murder. And I wonder if that last surviving mutineer, John Adams, ever contemplated what his life would have been like had he never participated in the mutiny, or the others. They just stuck it out until they got back to England. How much their lives, and everybody else's around them would have been so different. And honestly, objectively better. Will Wizards of the Coast be asking themselves the same question in a few years? What would it have been like had we just left well enough alone and just continued to capitalize on our existing market, and general goodwill? I guess time is going to tell on that. But this kind of has the hallmarks of a tragedy. So that's all I have for you today. A quick hitter. Some slightly esoteric musings. And I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you go ahead and like this video. And subscribe to the channel if you enjoy this type of content. We're building up some serious speed. And I hope you guys can hop on board and be part of it. I'd be glad to have you. So listen, you guys take care. You have a great rest of the evening, and we will talk soon. Goodbye.
What qualifies you to be a U.S. Senator? You have 60 seconds.
Hi. Good night, everybody.